Recording. Let's go. All right. I think this is episode 6 of Courtside Philosophy. Welcome in. Welcome back. I am your host, Lonnie Smith, and today I got new guest and my cousin, Raymone. What's up, baby? How you doing?
I'm all right, Lonnie. Good to be with you.
Hey, yeah, Ramon's been following the
Good to
pod
join you
and
on the
he's enjoyed it so
podcast.
far. And he's a big basketball guy, so he reached out and he's like, "Hey, man, let me see if I can get on here." And I was like, "For sure, let's do it." And so here we are. We're gonna chop it up.
Thanks
Uh,
for having me on.
yeah, of course. And then, as you can see, we keep the trend consistent. The bias is right on the screen. So Raymond, somehow a Lakers fan. Come
And
on, bro.
years and years. Oh man, you got to have Lakers fans. You got to have Cowboys fans.
Do
One
we?
is one is more obnoxious than the other.
Mm. Okay.
And
So how
Yankees, Lakers, Cowboys, Yankees.
Lakers, Cowboys, Yankees. So how'd you become a Kobe or Lakers fan?
You know what? Just growing up in Louisiana, there was no team. When I was growing up in Monroe, the Jazz had long gone, and they
Hmm.
had moved to Utah, and of course kept that name. I don't know why, but they kept the name Jazz, and there was nothing in Louisiana. So I just kind of attached to the Lakers because the Showtime era, you had Magic, uh, James Worthy, Kareem, AC Green, Byron Scott. It was exciting, and I just kind of latched on at that moment. So I've been a Lakers fan during the good times and the bad times as well. So I'm not just a fair weather Lakers fan. I am a Lakers fan.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna get to your Lakers here later today. We'll get your thoughts on how their season's going. But so today I wanted to touch on a few teams. So we're 10 plus games into the season now, so we have some idea of how some teams are going along. And so there are a few teams that are near the top of these standings that I obviously didn't predict. If you watched some earlier podcasts, I gave my thoughts on how I thought things would shake out. And so there's a few teams at the top of the West, and then a team at the top of the East right now, or near the top, that we want to talk about today. I'm going to start in the West, and I think the one that obviously would stand out to people who watched is the Dallas Mavericks. In my preseason projections, I was very concerned about the team, and I had them missing the playoffs. Even the play-in, I think I had them 11th in the standings, and I
Hmm.
think they're currently either third or fourth in the West, and they've won
Third.
10 games.
Mm-hmm. 10
And
6.
yeah, 10 games. Although I think they lost last night to the Clippers, but still, they're
Yeah.
like 10-6 and sitting near the top, and things are working somehow. Now, I think before we were recording, you said this wasn't surprising to you, that Dallas
Yes.
is in this position. Tell me why.
Well, I think at the end of last season, they were pretty much throwing that away. With the Kyrie trade happening a little bit late in the season,
Right.
I think their mentality was like, okay, well, let's just play the rest of this season out, and then let's start fresh and new. So they had, even though they lost some defense in that trade with Kyrie, they did get Grant Williams in, which kind of helps and with the loss and things of that nature. So I think with a training camp under them, I think they will be good enough during the regular season to make the playoffs or the play in, because I think they will kind of fall because right now they're only 5-4 in the conference.
Mm.
So that means they kind of beating up on some of the Eastern Conference teams. Some of the bottom feeders over there. But I didn't think they were fall out of the play-in. I think they'll be around 8 or 9 by the time the season shakes out.
Okay, so you still don't think they're actually going to sustain being top five in the West?
No, no,
Okay.
not top five.
All right, so then we agree on that. I don't fully buy this start. Even Jason Kidd, their head coach, is just like, hey, listen, we got to just outscore people. Like that's how we have to win. Like our best defense is more offense, and so I'm like, okay, well, that's certainly one way to go. I was looking on Cleaning the Glass, which is a site I use often on the show, and I was looking at some plus minus stuff for the Dallas Mavericks. So things that kind of stood out just from looking at it immediately. So for individual players, you can see how many points their team score on offense when they're on the floor versus when they're off the floor, and then the same as on the other side of the ball when they're off the floor and on the floor defensively, how things look. So honestly, when you look at it, Luka is actually not their best differential. He's a minus 6.5 this season when versus his on-off split. So when he is on the floor, they actually lose by 6.5 points per 100 possessions. So it's been Derek Lively, the second, who I got to give him credit. I was concerned that as a rookie, he was going to be tasked with being like the rim protector and kind of thrown into that Tyson Chandler type role.
Run and jump. Yeah, run and jump.
Yeah, from the jump, and he's done really well for them. And they missed him last night because he didn't play against the Clippers. And Grant Williams, I figured he'd be a positive, right? He's got defense and can stretch the floor, knock down a three. And Kyrie is a plus on the team. Now he doesn't play like half the games, but he's a plus when he plays. And then the other guy is Dante Exum, but he just doesn't have enough minutes, so maybe they need to explore that and see what he can do.
He's only playing 10 minutes a game, so
yeah. So the guy that also stood out just in their team plus minus situation, airplane mode, Derrick Jones Jr. He apparently has been in their starting lineup mostly, but when he is on the floor, they're a -1 as a team in terms of differential. When he's off the floor, they're +3. So maybe needs to be a switch in the starting lineup that they can look into.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't know. I just don't buy the start. I don't think they'll be able to hang on to top 5. But so far.
So why are you looking on there? What about Josh Green?
Yeah, Josh Green. So he is a -4 right now as a plus minus individually. So he's a plus on offense, right? He's +3 when he's on the floor offensively. They score 3 more points per 100 possessions, but he is negative defensively. They are outscored by 7 points per 100 possessions when he's on the floor. The same is true of Tim Hardaway. It's even more drastic of a split. They're currently +11.
Yeah, I didn't even ask about him. Tim is not guarding anybody.
Yeah, he is. That's not it. Surprisingly, I guess. Well, Luka's probably on the floor usually with Lively, so he's got actually a decent defensive rating at the moment. But I'm sure there's some things for them to explore there and figure out. But I just can't buy the start with Dallas at this point. I don't know that that's sustainable going, especially since they haven't really played a ton against. You said the West, like they've just been beating up on the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, they're 5-4 in the conference. So so in the conference they're right there about at even. So I think once that schedule kind of gets more and more Western Conference team, they'll fall back to, like I said, my prediction is 8 or 9.
8 or 9. Okay, that's where I was struggling. I was thinking to put them in that spot, but then I just kind of saw them as maybe a slightly above 500 team overall on the season.
Well, who do you think is going to finish above them? If you look at some of the bottom feeders, some of the ones that are out of the play-in right now, the Clippers, the Jazz, the Trailblazers, the Grizzlies, and the Spurs.
Right. So the two were the Clippers and the Grizzlies. I did not think Memphis would be this bad.
Me neither.
I was. I mean, I said something to the effect of, because I had them 7.
But why? But why are they this bad? It's not just Ja.
No.
Who else are they missing?
Steven Adams
and Clark.
Yep, and Clark. And that's what I said. I was like, listen.
And they've been missing Marcus Smart the past, 3-4 games?
Mm-hmm. Or,
so all
he's
that
not
defense.
even on the team. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, I think this team is really going to miss Steven Adams. Like, his stuff, it's not stuff that shows up on the box score, but like advanced metrics love him because his screen setting is incredible. Like he will, like when you come off a Steven Adams screen, you're open. Like the guy is going to be
Yes,
trailing
all the
you
way, all the
every
way
time.
open, right?
Yep. So Steven Adams is a big loss. Like that was right before the season too. They thought they were gonna find a way to get him, and then he had to have surgery, so he's not even coming back this year. Brandon Clark,
Right.
who was out most of last year, he's still not back.
Yep. Still out.
And then yeah, Smart, he's been out with an injury or so, a little
Yep.
bit. So it's been Desmond Bain,
Three
who I
and
like a
12.
lot, and Triple J,
Yeah.
who's anyway. I don't know.
Uh,
We're starting to look at him a little differently now. Hold on.
yeah, Jerry Jackson Jr. was. I think people were drinking the Kool Aid.
Yeah.
They were drinking the Kool Aid with Jerry Jackson Jr. And I wasn't one of those ones. I'm like, well, he seems a little okay. He seems a little bit above average. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I felt like he was a perfect compliment to Steven. And
Okay.
but his issue has always been, you know, contesting without fouling. Like he always is in foul trouble. And when you don't have another big, that is a huge problem if he can't stay on the
Don't
floor.
have another big. If he's the primary big, you're
Yeah.
gonna have an issue.
Yeah. So they are struggling. I mean, Ja, obviously help, but I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know how much. They pretty much dug themselves a pretty deep hole at this
Yeah.
point.
And then you have 10 more games until he's back.
Yep, 10 more games. So that was one team I had above them, but now that's that's not going to come to fruition, I don't think. The other one was the Clippers. I obviously, I didn't.
Yeah, I can
was
see that.
yeah, I was projecting it without Harden.
So real quick on Memphis,
Yeah.
Lonnie, do you think they will be so far in a hole that they just basically try to scrap the season?
Hmm.
By the time Ja gets back, like I said, it's 10 more games. They're 3-12. So do you think they'll be so far in that hole that they say, well, you know what? Let's just focus on next year.
Hmm. I don't think that's the mentality of this team. I think
Okay.
they'll find a way to try to convince. Well, they will convince themselves that all we need to do is get in the play-in. So
Okay.
I think that'll be their mantra once John returns. Is hey, let's go on a little mini run to the All-Star break, find a way to get closer and closer to that 10 spot, and then
Go from there.
they got the history of grit and grind, right? These guys.
Oh yeah.
So if they find a way in, they're not gonna win, but especially with no Steven Adams, I can't
Yeah.
see him going anywhere in the playoffs.
Mhm.
But I think that's their mentality. It'll be more interesting
Okay.
to see where they are after the All-Star break, because if they
Okay.
are still like, or where are they? 13? Are they dead last in the West?
No, they San Antonio's below them.
Okay, so they're
San
14.
Antonio just has one more loss.
Okay, so if they're still like 13, 14 post All-Star break, then we might see some. Okay, let's go ahead and shut this thing down, or scrap it a bit, and just
Okay.
wait for next year. But ultimately,
Alright.
I think when they get Ja back, they'll get some juice for sure, and they'll see what
Mhm.
they can do, go on a little run.
Okay.
But, okay, let's jump. I mentioned the Clippers. I mentioned Harden. I want to talk on the Clippers. So at this point, Harden's been there for 10 games, I think.
Okay.
So
It's a bit. Oh, it's
yeah,
been
I
that
think
many?
it's been
Wow.
10
Okay.
games at this point. So what are your impressions so far? Because I gave my thoughts on a previous pod, but do you ultimately think this is going to work with Harden and the Clippers, or is this something that you just don't even see as a viable thing?
I think it's going to work for Harden and the Clippers. I don't think it's going to work for Russell Westbrook.
Hmm.
So I feel like he is an upgrade at the point guard,
Mhm.
whereas he does have the skill level to catch and shoot if they need him to. Whereas Russell does present more energy and more grit than Harden. Harden provides them with more skill. So we've seen the past few games where they've inserted him into the starting lineup and Russell comes off the bench. So Russell's minutes have dwindled
Mhm.
and his scoring has dwindled his shooting. His I think I read something where since he's been coming off the bench, his shooting percentage has gone down 10%. 10%.
Oof.
Yeah. So and he's a mentally tough guy because he was going through it with my Lakers last year. He was going through it. He's a mentally tough guy, but ultimately, um, I'm not sure how sure this is going to work. But I think the Clippers, um, I think they'll work it out. Even though last night, like I said, they beat the Mavericks by like 19, and Kawhi played terrible,
He did.
and Harden played terrible.
Hmm.
So yeah, and they still beat them by 19. So I think it's going to work for the Clippers.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I was. My concern was the Harden Westbrook duo because, as a Rockets fan, I've had the combo previously, right? Because they
Yeah,
made the
yeah,
trade with OKC to send Chris Paul there, bring in Westbrook, because Harden wanted to play with his guy. I was hearing at the time there were some off the court things that was annoying Russ. That Harden, it was his place. They were letting him kind of do whatever he
yes.
wanted. So
Come
he
late.
was showing up late to meetings and just kind of walking in whenever. And Russ seems like a very regimented dude, and he's
Yeah,
like you say, brings the energy, but he just wants to make sure everybody is there on time and all that kind of stuff. And so that seemed to bother him. So it seemed like it was like one season, and they kind of had a mini falling out or whatever. So I was worried going into it. What was Westbrook going to be like? Would he be completely welcoming? And I mean, they go back to the Boys and Girls Club back in the day, so you'd like to think that they could overcome whatever happened in
yeah. We
Houston.
would like to.
Yeah, so that was my thought was how does it work with Westbrook, because I didn't think I was trying to put together a lineup with him start in the starting lineup, which is how they started. Right, they had Westbrook, Harden, Kawhi, PG, and Zubac,
Yeah,
and I just couldn't. I was like, in my mind, the best way to do it is to have Russ come off the bench, but I know Russ doesn't want to come off the bench, and
right.
so it came out that he apparently requested to go to the bench, and help the team, and I can believe that. Like Russ seems like he would make that kind of sacrifice. So once they
He
get it
knows. He knows. That's what everybody was thinking.
right, he knows that's exactly what everybody was thinking.
Mhm.
So yeah, as they get more reps, I think they'll be fine. And I was saying earlier, so to your point about Russ, like I was saying on a previous pod, like I don't think you make this move if you're the Clippers and don't re-sign Kawhi and PG, because you just gave up a lot of assets to bring Harden
Right.
here, and
Hmm.
he's got 1 year left on his deal, so you're gonna have to re-sign him this offseason. So I don't think you give up those assets and then just let him walk for nothing. That doesn't make sense. And so if you're gonna
Right.
re-sign him, especially with this new arena that they've got coming out, you're gonna
Correct.
need some stars to make sure that people are coming. So we'll see what the
Where does that
negotiations
leave
are like.
Russ?
Yeah, with them. But I feel like Westbrook, this is probably his last year with the team.
Yep.
If they might even try to trade him at the deadline.
Right.
So
And man, Russ is one of those guys, man. And I've seen it over the years. I think there might be a little age gap between us, but I've seen it over the years where these dynamic guys with this supreme athleticism,
hmm
within like 2 or 3 years, they're out of the league. And it looks like where Russ is trending. I hate to say it, but it looks like where it's trending, he'll be in the big three in a couple of summers.
wow. Well, he tear it up over there, but
He would.
he would. But, yeah, I hate to say it too. Like, seems like a great dude, and he just plays so hard, man. Like I've always
So
marveled
hard.
at. I don't even know how he's doing it
Even
now.
last night, he was okay last night. He was
Yeah.
one of the bright spots last night. Yeah.
hmm Yeah. So yeah, I think this team will be okay. So I think they'll be moving up out of that wherever they are. I think 11th or 12th in the West right now, and move up as they just start to figure things out a little bit more. I think they finally have the right starting five, um, and then I like
You think they'll You think they'll be in that top six out of the
Ooh.
play-in?
So I had him there in my projections. I think either
Yes.
6 or 7.
hmm
Uh,
Yeah, I think you have six, right?
I think I had him 6. I don't know that they can get who's above them right now. So they got Denver.
Got Golden State, New
Ooh, Golden.
Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah, Golden State, New Orleans, Houston,
Mm.
and the Lakers.
Okay.
Right in 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Okay. As much as I love my Rockets, I don't know that we'll be able to sustain a above 500 record.
I like what I'm seeing out of Houston. I
I,
really like what I'm seeing out of Houston. Houston and Orlando are mirrors to me.
mm,
Even though they're in different spots in the
yeah,
standing, but where they are with their young talent is kind of the only thing. Orlando, they need probably one more veteran, but
mm.
Houston with Van Vliet and the agitator
Oh,
Brooks.
Brooks.
Brooks. I think, man, I like they added. I like that they added them. I don't necessarily like Derrick Brooks. You don't like Derrick Brooks unless he's on your team.
Yeah,
Much so like Patrick Beverly.
yeah,
But but I like that they added them, and it seems like the right time to have done that.
yeah, yeah. I was super ecstatic when we got Ime as the head coach because I felt like we were teetering on going somewhere else. Word was coming out that Frank Vogel was kind of the front runner at one point, and I was like,
No, it's not gonna work.
I get it, but I don't know. And then Ime
hmm
became available, and I was like, oh boy, I don't know if we're gonna do it. And we got him, and I was like, okay, Ime on the court. I know what we're getting, the structure. Listen, hey, we gotta say it on the court. I know what we're getting, the
On the court,
structure, the discipline there, and
just keep them away from certain people. I'll
but
leave it at that.
but yeah, I think coming into the season like this is Jalen Green's 3rd year, so this was the year where you usually see that leap if you're from a player, especially of his caliber, who was drafted I think number 2 overall. This is usually the year where you start to see a leap in his play. Now,
Yeah, but that's not your best player though.
no, he is not. And so that was
No,
what I was saying coming into the season, talking to Pradeep, was like Şengün is our best
Shangoon.
player, and
That
we
man
got to
got
run it through
game.
him.
He got game.
He's awesome. Mini yoke. I was like, this guy,
Yes. Midi baby Jokic.
yeah, he be Jokic. It's like
More athletic.
he, whoa, man, he's been doing spin moves into dunks and all this kind of stuff.
Behind the back passes. And
What?
I don't want to derail,
No, go
but
ahead.
these these passing big men
Yeah.
are so you got Jokic, now you have Şangun, um, who has kind of like some Sabonis a little
Sabonis.
bit with Sacramento. These guys, um, I guess for lack of better words, these big skill guys
Mm-hmm.
who could uh, make their teammates better. Man, look, everybody's going to be looking for one of those in a
Mm-hmm.
couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, these guys. Yeah, Şengün has been awesome. Like he is, yeah, clearly the best player on the team. Jalen has had his moments for sure, and I think one of the things. So 2 things with the Rockets.
Okay.
One, the defense is legit, and I'm sad to say that it's just primarily effort. Like I feel like there was not much attention to that at any rate under Silas. Like guys were just taking off on defense, just worrying about doing whatever they want to do on offense. And I feel like Ime comes in and media's like, listen, you want to see the court, you got to play
You're not
defense.
gonna play.
You're not
You're
going.
not gonna play unless
Yep.
you deal.
Unless you D up, you're not playing. So guys are showing way more, and I think Van Vliet re-emphasizes that as the vet, like you were
Yeah.
saying. Like he's
On court general.
he's worked his way up from the bottom, right? Because he wasn't
Yep.
even drafted, Right, so he came in, he
I
earned
remember
his
seeing
spot.
Van Vliet at Wichita State, man, and
Yeah,
I was like, I haven't been hearing his name in the draft, but he got game.
yeah,
He got game.
he's
So
got
yeah.
game. So I was excited about bringing him on, and then yeah, I think those two definitely hold.
I wanted the Lakers to get Van Vliet when he was available, but you
Mm,
know.
no, we threw the bag at him, threw the whole bag, because we almost lost him for a minute.
yeah.
Toronto was trying to
Yeah,
keep
through the
him, and
whole bag.
we threw the whole bag. I was like, okay, but yeah, he's been great. So the defense has been much better, and yeah, there's some guys that I'm seeing a lot. I mean, Shengun, Jabari. So, the other part. So interesting how when you hold guys accountable, how things can change, right? Because we had Jabari who was struggling a little bit. He got
Yeah.
benched in a game like 5 games ago. Late in the fourth quarter, he didn't play. He comes
Okay.
back. Now he's been averaging a double-double the last 5 games.
Right.
All right, Jalen Green
Nice.
sat the whole fourth quarter of a game because he was not playing well at all in that game. He comes back and he's had 30 and 26 and 5 and
Yeah.
been making great defensive plays like the last 2 games. So
So
it's
these young guys, you have to show them that you mean business.
right.
And Udoka is going to do that.
Yep.
You have to show them. You can't say, well, if you don't play defense, you're not going to play, and then continue to play them when they're not playing defense.
Mm-hmm.
Udoka's like, okay, you don't want to play defense, go sit down.
Yeah.
And that's what they respond to. Like, oh, okay, he really means that. So, yeah, so.
Yeah.
And one plus for you, Derek Brooks is actually shooting the ball pretty good.
Yeah. Dylan Brooks. He's been knocking down some threes. We got a guy who
46%.
okay,
Right
that's
now.
not going to sustain.
That's not sustainable. But
No.
46%.
Yeah, that's not going to. So yeah, Pradeep brought that up to me because he was like he brought it up. He's like, you got like 3 or 4 guys on the team that the 3-point shooting percentage is like below average, and it was like like Van Vliet, Jalen Green, and Dylan Brooks. Those are the guys who would primarily take all the threes, and they're not great 3-point shooters. And I was like, yeah, that's a problem. If we're not going to be able to knock them down now. I don't know that Dylan's not going to be at 46.5% for the whole season.
Yeah.
The one thing I did put some stock into is we had a guy, I can't remember his name right now, but he was with Ime or in San Antonio when they were under Pop. And
Okay.
this is a few years back when Derek White was still there. And Derek White was like a 34%, 34% 3-point shooter. And I think the guy's Ben Sullivan, I think is his name. And he worked with Ben Sullivan, Derek White did, and the next season he was at 39% from 3. Right, they worked
Nice.
on some things in his shot, and so that was my hope because Ime was able to bring him on to the staff when he was recruiting his people, and so that was my immediate hope was okay. I know we got Dylan Brooks, we signed him. He should be with Ben every day in the gym,
Yeah.
working on the 3. Same with Amin. All right, get him in there too. And I guess so
Yeah.
far we got some good stuff. Now, yeah, it won't last that long, but
Yeah, Thompson is going to need a little work. You know, it's these super young cats come in, they just need a couple years, man.
yeah. Now his brother's
Yeah.
been great, man. His brother with Detroit. I mean, they're not winning, but his brother's putting up some good numbers, like rebounds. He's like average.
On a bad team.
Yeah, on a bad team, and we figured
Yeah.
they'd be bad, but
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. So I'm excited. I'm not gonna overreact to the Rockets. I'm not gonna, all of a sudden be like, oh, we're going to the playoffs, baby. I had a sneaky take that I don't think I ever put out there that I thought we could maybe get the 10 spot. Maybe.
You think that's sneaky?
I thought it was because coming into the year, I didn't think the 3-point shooting would be this good, and I didn't think the defense would be this good. So I thought maybe sneaky they could get the 10 spot, but that meant like you had to beat Dallas, right, to do it.
It's to me, it's a big deal that you could play the defending champs and beat them with ease. To me, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And like I say, with the uptick with Şengün, even if you get Dylan Brooks shooting 35%, coming back down to 35, Van Vliet there with some floor leadership, and and let me look. I think they could get a 10.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'd have to
I
stay
think they could
healthy.
get a
Shingun
10.
has to stay healthy for that to happen, though. Like if he's out
Okay.
for a few games here and there, I at this point don't know that we would win, like be super competitive in those games at the moment,
Hmm.
because we don't have anybody to replace him. So as long as he
So
stays,
8-6, eight and
yeah,
six right now.
8-6 right now. So listen, I'm just vibing out here as a Rockets fan. Like I'm just enjoying like some of these wins over like the Nuggets, and we beat the Pelicans the other week, and like we
Yep.
were competitive. We beat the Lakers earlier, and then probably should have beat them the second time. And y'all got blessed. They didn't call some stuff, man.
Oh
But
yeah, the league is not helping out the Rockets with calls.
yeah,
I guess the Lakers, if anything, the Lakers are not getting calls.
okay, all right. Hey,
Going all the way back to last season
yeah. Hey, let's
at Boston.
we got yeah, Boston. Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Hmm.
Uh, Soap opera LeBron after the call, after the no call.
I'm gonna let you slide with that. I'm gonna
Okay.
let you slide with that.
Yeah. Well, then we had
LeBron,
the game.
LeBron is a master manipulator.
Yes. But yeah, we had the game against the Clippers where Şengün was hit Paul George with the spin move on the baseline, and Paul clearly just slapped and raked him across the arm, no call. And Paul has a podcast, and he had Şengün is
I
going to
was
be
gonna
his,
say that.
yeah, he's going to be his
Yeah,
guest.
he had high praise. He
Yeah,
had high praise for
high,
Şengün.
high praise for Şengün, and he just openly admitted, he's like, yeah, I fouled the heck out of you, bro. Like
Yeah.
they didn't call it. It's like, oh my gosh.
Basketball is one of those sports where you try to manipulate the officials. It's
Yeah.
just one of those sports. Yeah.
Hmm. But yeah, so
Soccer, football. Yeah, that's
yeah.
part of the game, unfortunately, but it is.
Yeah. So you mentioned the Magic, and I want to bring them up too because they're currently second in the East, and
Hmm.
I going into the season like you, I had them. I love that comparison between Houston and Orlando because I had them both. I think finishing like 11th in their conference
Okay.
because I looked at them as similar, and yet here they are at what 11-5 or 11-4
11 and
or something.
5. Yep.
11 and
6-2 in conference.
6-2 in the conference, and
Hmm. Yep.
I haven't. I have to be honest. I haven't watched a ton of Magic games, but like I'm seeing this, and I'm looking at right now. I'm cleaning the glass. Like it seems like it's kind of the others that are kind of carrying this team right now. Because I see like
Okay.
Paolo Banchero's a minus 14 when he's on the court, and Franz Wagner's a minus 11. Like when he's on the
They are
court.
going to make. I know people like. I don't like Bankero like that. I mean, I know people like him. I don't like him like that. But yeah, what do you say? He's a minus what now?
14. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. When you say the others, I know Cole Anthony has game.
Mhm.
I like that pairing with Franz and Mo Wagner.
Yep.
You know, yeah, they play pretty well together. Bankero provides you with points, and he shoots a lot of shots.
He does.
Um,
Yes, he does.
yeah, so yeah, I'll see how that pans out, but I don't see it with him. I mean, he
Mm.
leads them in scoring. He leads them in scoring. So
Okay.
and I know he got a little bit more experience with Team USA over the summer.
Right.
So I think that probably helped his game a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean,
I think they need another vet.
yeah. Says because they only have Joe Ingles, I think, really, and
So Cole Anthony was doing an interview, and he was saying how Mo Wagner and Joe Ingles both are built like substitute teachers. So 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 he calls the group he calls the group that comes off the bench Joe Ingles uh, and his nephews or something like that, because he's like an uncle basically.
Oh my
Yeah. So
gosh,
yeah,
that's funny.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess
But
so.
I think he's the only vet really.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the concerns I had for Orlando coming to the year, they have so many guards. Like my goodness, they had Cole Anthony, Markel Fultz, Jalen Suggs, and then they drafted Anthony Black, and I was like, okay, what are we doing? Like
Hmm.
Gary Harris, I was like, what?
Gary Harris.
We
Yep.
got like so many guards. Like who's starting? Are they
Jet Howard.
Jet Howard? They drafted
Yep.
Michigan. I was like, there's
Yep.
so many guards. Like who's starting? We're trading some of these guys at some point, right? Like I feel like
Hmm.
that might be a move at the deadline to maybe bring in a vet or somebody, like you were saying. But yeah, out of all the guards, I mean, Cole, I know what he can do. I like him coming off the bench. I like that role for
Yeah.
him.
Me too.
Gary Harris has
Yeah.
been great for them so far this season. He's their best leader in plus minus. He's almost plus 15. Like
Oh.
when he's on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah. Jalen Suggs, man, I watched. Oh, he was playing. Did you watch the game when he was playing your Lakers?
Yeah.
Man,
He played hard, man.
I
Yeah.
was I was watching that game. He was damn near in tears, like
Yeah.
at the end of the
He
game.
had a
Like
chance to win that thing. Yeah. He had a chance to win that thing.
he
He covered
did.
his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even
He was.
before that,
He was wide. He was wide open
he
too.
was.
Yeah. He hustled. He hustled,
He
and he
did.
was hustling that whole game. He outworked our whole team,
Yeah,
and he had a wide open shot, and he would have been a hero.
he would
Would
have
have
been.
been.
Like I didn't
Yeah.
know. Like I, I mean, I saw him at Gonzaga. Obviously, they made the run when he was there, and he seemed like he
Mhm.
had emotion to him for sure. But like I watched that game, like it looked like he was going through it. Like late in that game, it looked
Mhm.
like damn near every call, like going to. I was like, bro, it can't be this serious, dog.
Yeah,
He
calm down a
was.
little bit. Just turn it down a little bit.
I
Yeah,
was like, yo, that's crazy. But
he
yeah,
plays
I didn't
hard,
know he played
man.
with that kind of emotion. But like he plays hard. Um, I mean, young kid Anthony Black. I like his size, and I like what he could be. Right, 6'6" or 6'7", 6'7" wingspan out of Arkansas, and he seems like
Okay.
he has a good feel for the game. So I'm excited about him. I think that's a guy. The other guy that uh, is doing some things for him at the moment is Isaac. Like, and we know,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Isaac, um, they missed him like a good bit of last year, right?
Oh, he's been out for a while. Like it seemed like
Yeah.
he was
So
injured, and then he came back for a little, and then he got injured again, and so he's been
right.
out for like.
So, but he was one of the guys when they first drafted. He had a lot of promise.
Mm-hmm.
People were saying that he could be. Um, who were they comparing Jonathan Isaac to? He was 6'10", 6'10", 230. I
Mm.
forgot who the comparison was, but they were putting a lot of stock in him. So I'm glad he's doing well for them this year.
Yeah, yeah. It's basically like the Zach Collins situation over in Portland, where it seemed like every time he
Okay.
came back, like he broke something else or some other thing happened to him, and he was off the court again. So he's. I think he tore. I think Isaac tore an ACL at some
Hmm.
point, and he's also injured something else, and now he's finally playing consistent basketball, and he's been playing well for him. Um,
Yeah.
but the ultimate question is: Are they going to stay in the top four, top five in the East?
No.
No. Okay.
No. 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 Yeah. I mean, it's just ride the wave while you can, but no, that they're not gonna stop. That. Let me see who are they ahead of right
Like they're
now?
ahead of like Milwaukee, the Cavs, the
No.
Knicks, the Heat,
No.
all those guys. I think they're only behind Boston at this point. And yeah,
Okay.
I agree with you. I think like you said, they young team ride the wave. They're off to a good start, and I mean they beat Boston though.
They
They did beat Boston.
they always beat Boston. They always beat Boston. It's like it's like that one team that has your number.
Yeah,
The Magic are the one team that has the Boston Celtics number. They always give Boston a hard time.
mm,
Kind of like Lakers in Sacramento.
yeah,
They always give us a tough issue, right? So So yeah, when they beat Boston, I'm like, okay, that's kind of been the norm the past 2 3 years.
Yeah. Now, do you think this Orlando team can make the play-in?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, I do think they can make the play in,
Yeah.
um, and that's because at some point in time, I think Toronto is going to have a fire sale,
Yeah. We're waiting on it. We've been waiting on it for almost the whole
and
season at this point.
yeah, and they're sitting at 8-8 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what Masai is doing, but he's a real smart guy.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly what he's doing. I think he's kind of biding his time to see, what Pascal and uh, OG and Barnes. You see what these guys are going to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I, they have what Bomani Jones. What
Bonnie.
Bomani Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What they have to call a lot of low spades. Yeah,
Okay.
they have a lot of low spades. So
Yeah.
it's like they got these guys that can teeter totter on being an all star, or
Right.
uh, people would want them come the trade deadline, but like mixed together with Barnes and OG and Pascal and Schroeder,
Yeah.
like
Mm,
you know
yeah.
three of spades, four of spades, just
Yeah.
not gonna give
Yeah.
you much.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I think so. Coming into the season, I actually had him missing the play-in by one spot, and that's only because I. I mean, Chicago is bad, man. This is they gotta.
Oh, they gonna have a fire sale too.
Yeah, they gotta. I
Yeah,
thought they could trend around 500, and if they did keep it together and slide in, but
pieces don't fit.
no, they
Pieces
don't.
don't fit.
They don't fit. So
And then you
yes,
lost Lonzo. Lonzo.
that's a. Hey, is he that big of a loss though? Like this big?
No. He's
So
not that big. No,
so
but
what's going on
he
though?
can play point though, man. He can play point. They don't have. I mean, who's that point guard now?
Kobe White.
Poofy hair.
Yeah, Kobe
Poofy hair.
White.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's not that big of a loss, but yeah, they have given up.
Yeah.
They they look like that. Did you see Debo get ejected the
Yeah, I
last
saw him.
game?
And he dapped up Masai on the way out.
Yeah. So Debo don't understand because he was mad. He was mad that they scored at the end of the game. He's like, it's the end of the game, but those points matter. The
Yeah, they
points
do
matter in the in-season
in the
tournament.
tournament.
So everybody is scoring at the end of the game. Even if you're down
Yeah.
like 12 points, the other team is still scoring at the end of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
so they're
got
gonna have a fire sale.
yeah. Yeah, they gotta blow it up. So they're Orlando's better than them just for at this point for
Yep.
sure. They should make the play-in. I think
Yeah,
with
I
with
agree.
this start and the lack of talent in the East. I mean, Jesus, Charlotte, Washington, Detroit are just terrible. Uh, uh,
Detroit, Detroit, Detroit is supposed to be better than this. 2-14. I
man,
would gather
the
to say that
pieces.
they have drafted poorly.
Yeah, that's it. I was
They have drafted poorly.
very, very poorly, and I know they brought in Monty, and I was like, okay, that's a plus. I like him as a coach, but like you said about Chicago, like these pieces they don't fit. Like they
They
have
don't fit.
like they're young and old at the same time, and
They
then
don't
they
fit.
don't. They also have like so many like Killian Hayes, Jaden Ivey, Marcus Sasser.
Killian Hayes is
Oh,
a big disappointment. They've been waiting on Killian Hayes.
yeah,
They've been waiting on him since they drafted him. And it's
yeah,
like, how long can you wait on a player? It's
yeah.
like Chicago with Patrick Williams. How long are you gonna wait until? How long are you gonna wait until he does what you thought he was gonna do?
I
That's a
mean,
poor draft, and sometimes it happens like that.
yeah,
Drafting is not a perfect science.
yeah. On the Patrick, that's so funny about it because I listen to Zach Lowe from ESPN, and that's like his
Okay,
guy.
yeah.
He's just like I can't quit Patrick Williams. Like I don't know what it is, but I just will always be the one guy like yelling Like, oh no, there it is. He's about to start the
Mm-hmm.
run. He played well yesterday, and like
You
he's
need
not
another
even in the
venue.
starting lineup. I don't think for the
Nope.
Bulls, which
Yeah.
is oh my
They
god.
tried starting him for a while. He
They
just
did.
he just don't have it. Well, he's out of Florida State.
Yeah. So, but
Yes.
yeah, on the Pistons, like I mean, obviously I love Cade. I love Jalen Duren a lot. I think he's got something. Like he's. I mean, we forget how good Dwight Howard was, so I'm not gonna go blasphemous and be like, oh, he's gonna be Dwight Howard. But you could see that in his game.
Okay.
Like their combo, pick and roll combo is pretty nasty. But that's really the only bright side I see on the team is those two. Is Jaden
Okay.
Ivey. I mean, I haven't.
How about say you don't like Ivy?
Man, I love the story. I mean, his mom's a
Okay.
coach,
Good
right?
story with
At
him and his mom.
yeah, him and his mom, and
Yeah.
so I feel like I mean, should be something there, but I haven't seen it. And then
Mm.
yeah, Killian Hayes at this point, I'm like, I don't think
Yeah,
that
it's
one's
about time
over.
for that. Yeah.
Marcus Sasser has shown some things out of Houston. He's a rookie. He's come in and given them some decent minutes. Um,
Yeah.
and then on the other
And
side,
then
they have all these bigs, and I'm like, why? You got James Wiseman, Jalen Duren, Isaiah
Wiseman.
Stewart,
Oh,
and Bagley, Marvin Bagley the third. I'm like,
Wiseman is such a. Oh man, I don't know what to say about Wiseman.
I don't either.
And then you got Bagley, who petered out in Sacramento, and you got these guys who were kind of highly touted in college.
Yeah.
Bagley, Kevin Knox.
Oh yeah, he's
You
over
got
there
the,
now.
yeah. I mean, they don't fit.
No.
Who's the GM over there?
Um, is it
It's not Joe no more.
is it
It's
Casey?
not Joe Dumars
Is
no
it
more,
Dwayne
right?
Casey?
As the GM?
Is he the GM or is he like? Because he fired
I'm not
himself. He
sure.
was the coach, and then he fired
You're
himself
right.
and
He
but
was coach.
promoted himself. And I don't know if he's the GM or if he's like president of something.
Yeah.
But I think he's still over there. So I don't know who the GM is over there, but they got a
Okay.
and then they got I mean they got
Just
hosed
don't
in the
fit.
lottery because they were supposed to be with the odds like a top two, top three pick, and then they got the fifth pick in the draft. I
Hmm.
mean they got Asar who
That'll
looks
kill you.
who looks good, but and yeah the Pistons that's tough. That's tough. They shouldn't be this
So
bad.
so yeah, Orlando might even get up to 9. You know.
Yeah, I will see. So one of the teams I had as my sneaky team to make the play-in was or I might have said make playoffs because I think they would win the play-in series. Was the Indiana Pacers. That was
Okay.
my team. I felt like so Sacramento last year they won 48 games, and
Okay.
so they were
They're your surprise team last
They were
year.
your surprise team. They were healthy the whole
They took a leap.
year, right? They played the fast-paced style where they just were running and gunning,
Hmm.
and they ultimately finished third in the West.
They got the fastest player in the NBA.
Yep, Aaron Fox. And this
Yeah.
team last year with the Pacers with Halliburton, who I love. I'm like he's like the new age Chris Paul. That's how I call it at this point. Like
Yes.
he's awesome.
Hmm.
And when they were with him, they were 500 last year. And then he went
Hmm.
out in January with an injury for like a month, and then that's when
Right.
they fell apart a little bit. So now he's back, and then he's running this offense. You got Buddy Hield, you got Miles Turner. You bring in Obi Toppin as a guy who can at least play above the rim and run the
Uh-huh.
floor. So I was like, all right,
Do you have Do you have Buddy Hill and Miles Turner? Do you have them mentally? Do you
I,
have them? Because they've been on the trading block for the past 2 years, both of them.
they have, and Buddy's in talks probably again now.
Both of them have been collected with the Lakers on the trading block the past 2 years.
The past 2 years. Hey, they're still
Yeah.
there.
So do you have them?
Listen, they still
He's shooting the
there.
lights out. Buddy still shooting the lights out.
Yeah, he still is. So they're a fun little team. Like they're literally just gonna outscore everybody. They don't play defense. Like what they played the
Yeah.
Hawks the other day, 157, 152 in regulation.
Yeah. Right. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So I can imagine what it was like to be at that game.
Oh man. So yeah, they were my little fun team to watch in the East. But yeah, I think to Orlando they should
Yeah,
make.
they'll make the playoffs. I believe. Yeah,
Yeah. They
I agree with you.
okay. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
all right, let's get to. Uh, well, do we?
Okay.
Let's,
OKC.
yeah, OKC. OKC. I gotta admit, I think I'm just wrong on this one. My concern was they had at one before the season even started. Like you're supposed to only have like 15 dudes on your roster, and at one point in the
Mm-hmm.
offseason with like 2 weeks left, they had 20. And I was like,
Yeah.
who are we picking?
Who are they keeping?
Yeah, who are we keeping? And
Mm-hmm.
then I mean, Chet is coming in. I think obviously he's going to start. First of all,
Chet got game.
rookie of the year at this point.
Yeah, he got game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got game. So I figured he'd be a plus. I thought they would maybe rotate through a few more guys, um, and that might have kind of hurt them in terms of wins and losses, right? Because they would just
Okay.
have young guys coming in. Let me see what you can do, so we can kind of get a true read on okay, what's the talent situation here? Who are we going with for the future, kind of
Okay.
stuff. But I
Yeah.
think they may have already figured it out at this point.
Yeah.
All right, Shea is a dude. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
You wish he took maybe a
Yeah.
couple more threes, but otherwise he can get to his spot whenever.
He gonna have to learn how to shoot the ball.
Yeah.
He gonna have to. But the athleticism, he can go by you anytime he wants to. He can get to the rim. But he gonna have to learn how to shoot, especially for the playoffs.
Yeah,
He
he
gotta
looks
learn how to
slow.
shoot the ball.
He looks slow on TV. I don't understand. Like when I watch him, like he's got,
Like Luca slow.
yeah, he's got his own pace slow. Where
Okay.
I don't know. I guess it keeps you off balance because like I'm watching him and like I guess he just got like maybe a little herky jerk to him. Like he
Yeah.
comes at you and then like I guess he's got the step and he goes and then the next time he comes down hits you with the behind the back dribble stop into a pull up. So I don't know. He's got something going, man, and he's great. Chet,
And he was like a throw in. Wasn't there a throw in with the Paul George?
he was
Yeah.
yeah, because he was with the Clippers and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I mean I think he might have been the main piece they were after, I guess. But
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, like and then so you got him, you got Chet, who's showing you that he's a guy, right? Can stretch the floor, knock down
Yeah.
the three. He's gonna contest stuff at the rim. I like Chet. They have two.
Chet is shooting 43%, 44% from the three.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, he hit the three against
That's
Golden State the other week.
Yep. Turn around.
Turn around.
Just turned around and shot it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
That's a dude.
yeah. Chet's a dog. So those two for sure. Then you got Jay Williams. Like they have two Jalen Williamses.
Which one?
Yeah.
Which one?
I think it's J Dub is what they call the wing Jalen Williams.
Okay.
They have him, but they also have big Jalen Williams down in the middle. Isaiah Joe can just
Yeah.
shoot. Oh
He
my
can shoot
god!
it. Yeah.
He's at what 45% from three, and he's taking like 5 a
48
game.
right now. Yeah, we're at 48 right now.
It's 48, and he's taking like 5 a game.
48. Yeah, he's shooting. Yeah.
You can't.
So again, not sustainable, but yeah, they it's they got a lot. Like you said, they got a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't know why they chose to keep the ones they kept. I guess talent.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, it's like they lulled me to sleep because they had just had so many almost quote unquote no name guys, and then they panning out.
Yeah.
What you can say about OKC is they look like they know how to draft.
Yes. Yes. They do.
I mean, for you to draft Kevin Durant,
yeah. Presti knows how to
yeah,
draft.
Kevin Durant, Westbrook, and Harden,
And Ibaka.
that says something. Yeah, and Ibaka, that says something about you.
Yeah. Yeah, they can draft. The question now is they keep. So they've been stockpiling picks and whatnot. Like they're going out of style. and we've been waiting. What are they going to do? Is this the year they do something with it? Because now with this team,
Need a vet. Need a veteran. Everybody need a
that's
vet.
what I'm saying. Like
everybody need a vet.
With this team in the position they are right now, with you see what Chet is, you know what Shea is, you got J-Dub. Do you trade? Obviously, Giddy's been in the news for other reasons at the moment, but you trade him.
Yeah, you're not gonna have him. Yeah, you're not gonna have him.
You trade him plus some of these picks.
He's in some big trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in some trouble.
Yeah.
So, do you bring in a Debo?
I don't know if that works. Because he doesn't shoot threes either.
But you got Joe and you got Chet and you got so you got these guys who actually do shoot threes. Yeah, it's a Giddey has been terrible from three, really.
Yeah.
Even Shea right now is at 36%. So you got Lou Dort at 42%. So you got guys who are shooting the three, again, not sustainable. So let's say they regress down to 36, 37.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could use Debo there to do Debo things.
Yeah.
You know, especially down the stretch of a game, you have guys that may not be, seasoned enough to have that. Hey, this is what you do in the clutch time. Hey, let's rally. Yeah, and I believe Debo is good for that. I don't think anybody's talking about that, but yeah, I mean, again, the Bulls are going to have a fire sale, so.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you could make that move.
What do you think?
I think that's interesting. Like I want to see that. That would be an interesting fit down the stretch, because obviously we know what Debo can do in terms of closing out some games and being like a clutch. Like he had not this past season, was it the season before? Right? It just seemed like every late game. Yeah, it was
every game. Yeah,
every late game shot, he was just somehow knocking it down. I don't know if you want to see Shea maybe have that spot, right? Because it's his team right now. Team. So see what he can do in those moments. That's an interesting. I have to see what the numbers are on that. Like, can they make it work? Probably, with the salary cap and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're definitely in a position where they can make a move finally. Like, they got a ton of draft picks and valuable ones too, that people will want, and ship that with other pieces and see what you can get. And then they're gonna be a fun team to watch. Like, they should make the playoffs now. I had it wrong. They should definitely be a playoff team, especially with Memphis being where they are at this point. That spot's open.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get to the big discussion. Your Lakers.
All right.
Talk to me. Like, so where are they? They're what, 6th or 7th?
7.
7.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys haven't
Just
been
got
healthy.
a good win last night.
Yeah, you go.
That's the problem. All the depth that we got during the off season, all of them have been hurt. So we haven't played Jared Vanderbilt all year. He played one preseason game, and he has this heel bursitis thing going on with him. Cam Reddish, who developed into a starter, he has a groin from, I guess, 2 games ago now, and just Hachimura, he had a concussion, and then he has a nasal fracture. So I'm like, what is all this stuff coming from? Gabe Vincent has. I just hope he improves. I think Gabe Vincent will be gone at the trade deadline, though. He'll be gone.
Okay.
He is. Even when he has played, 7% from 3-point. 7%. Yeah, 7.
Oh boy.
Yeah, below 10, 7. Yes.
7. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I can get a little emotional when I talk about the Lakers, but our depth has been hurt. Not LeBron and AD, the people who we expect to be hurt. The depth has been hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the Lakers could climb and stay in 5 and 6 in that area.
Yeah.
I think we tried the Austin Reeves in the starting lineup. I knew that wasn't going to work.
Mm.
Overhyped.
Overhyped. Overhyped.
Overhyped.
Mm.
Overhyped. He got some run with Team USA, and I saw him then. I was like,
You did a little bit
and
for
he
him.
is good. He is good coming off the bench.
Okay. That's where they have him
Good
now.
coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Yep. So Cam Reddish, long,
Yeah.
pretty good. Once we get Jared Vanderbilt, long,
Mm-hmm.
and both two good defensive players. LeBron, AD, and then for right now, D'Lo.
D'Lo. For right now.
For right now.
What does that mean? Are you trading him too?
Trade deadline, more
Okay.
than likely. Yeah.
Oh, so
yeah,
then-
more than likely.
So who's left to play point if you trade Vincent and D'Lo?
It's a good question. See, I don't claim to have all the answers.
Oh,
I don't claim all the answers. Point guard LeBron won us a championship. So
He's
he's been there's been rumblings, and you've been hearing the audio
yeah. I was gonna say.
when him talking to the coaches like, "Hey, I'm just standing out in this wing. You know I can play point guard, right?"
Yeah, he said that game one against the Nuggets. Like they got the audio.
Yeah,
Like,
he
hey,
said
y'all know?
I can play point guard.
Yeah.
So and oh man, this Nuggets thing. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
Hey, we beat him. We beat him.
You did twice.
Twice.
See this Jokic thing, man. Now let's just talk about the Lakers. I know we'll talk about it. Yeah, this. So what do you have? What do you have the Lakers finishing?
I had him, in that same spot. I think I had him fives. But
Okay,
I think
5, yeah.
Because they don't want to be in the play-in. That's just an extra game. We're not trying to do that. All right. Listen, so those are some interesting points. I didn't know Gabe Vincent was shooting 7%. That's awful.
7%.
7%. That's bad. And then it's just ironic. Like all the other guys are getting hurt, and LeBron and AD have been the two that have been holding it down.
Torian Prince, who came in as a 40% 3-point shooter, has not been shooting the ball well at all. And it's like, there's a regression. When you come play with LeBron, your 3-point percentage goes down 5% because you're scared. You don't want to mess it up. So the pressure is added on. So you can shoot whatever team you was on, but when you go play with LeBron, you're going to go down 5%.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and so I like, obviously,
Torian Prince, 27%.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Yeah, from 3.
That's not it. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, Braun's doing crazy things at 39 that they're never probably ever going to see again.
Yeah, about to be 39.
Yeah. And then all these people that want to trade AD, can we stop? Can
we do that? Yeah, we can stop that. That's ridiculous.
That? Dude is top 10 player in the league.
See, Lonnie, I'm rational. I'm a rational Lakers fan. Okay. And I can be objective. I can get emotional. But it's a difference between emotional and rational. AD, even if he don't give you 20 points a night, he is going to wipe out everything in the paint.
Thank you.
Everything in the paint.
Thank you.
I mean, he's leading the league in blocks right now.
Yep.
And some of the stuff that just doesn't show up on the stat sheet, he is preventing people, making people second guess coming in the lane.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure what the stat is about the decrease in shooting percentage when you're coming to the lane at him. It's somebody said what the percentage was, but that can get away with that trade AD thing. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. People have been putting that out there, talking about like, go get Embiid. I'm like, can we just let that man play? He is awesome. He's a top 10 player in the league right now. Today.
I agree.
Yeah, he's a top 10 player in the league. He's a defense, like you say, he's a defense unto himself. Like, people who don't believe that, go watch the Golden State series in the playoffs last year. Just go watch how they had to change their whole offense because AD was in there just deterring everything.
Guarding Steph on the perimeter.
Yeah.
Who else could do that?
Oh, my goodness.
Who else could do that? You got 12 boards a game, 3 blocks a game.
Yeah.
The up and down with the scoring is just, it is what it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have the depth.
There you go.
Okay?
Yep.
That's why you have the depth.
Yep.
So there are going to be nights where he's going to take off offensively. He's going to be concerned primarily with the defense.
Yep. Yeah.
We just have to figure out Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Once we figure out Denver, championship time.
Championship time. Yeah. Yeah, because I remember watching that opening night game, and I mean, AD was cooking in the first half, and then I don't think people, because then he disappeared in the second half.
Zero in the second half.
Right.
Zero.
I mean, do we see what Denver was doing defensively? I know he's AD, and like you should at least be able to score a bucket, but like the timing on their doubles in the second half was like perfect. Like they were coming over, and what do you want to do? Take a fall away from like damn near the 3-point line over two guys? Like the right basketball play is,
and we didn't adjust.
Right. I mean, you got good looks off of it too. So it was like, they came with the double late. Like usually somebody, like KCP or somebody comes over to help, and then AD makes the pass. Guys open. Like,
don't say KCP, man. Don't say KCP, guys. He is an underrated piece.
Yep.
I wish we would have never gave him up in a trade. KCP. We've been looking for a KCP ever since we let we let him go.
Yeah.
All that for Westbrook.
I didn't like the trade when it came down. I was like,
me neither. It was terrible.
Like you guys were set.
It's terrible.
You guys were in a great spot. That was the year after the chip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
the year after the chip.
The year after. The chip.
So after the chip, we got bounced in the first round by Phoenix.
That's because Braun was hurt.
Yeah.
And AD got hurt in the series.
Yeah. So So the year after. So after that happened, that's when we brought in Westbrook. And I saw what they were saying it was going to do, but Westbrook just wasn't that guy when it comes to, hey, I got Braun hurt, I got AD hurt. Now you take the team and get us some wins. He wasn't that guy at that time.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I think you guys. I mean, you got to get healthy so we can see what it's like with the full team. I do like Austin coming off the bench. I think that's the right move for him. Now, you got money coming on him in 2 years, so maybe not this year, but next year, probably try to move him. I think that's in the cards. And then as always, I'm always excited to see what late GM cooks up come trade time.
Rob Pelinka?
No, late GM.
You mean
the real GM. No. We know who's really
Everybody likes to say that. LeBron says the guys on his team do their job. He is a basketball player.
Okay. All right, LeBron. We'll see. I mean, they're definitely going to make a move. I mean, so they can't do anything until the trade deadline at this point, because people obviously they're talking about. I think Zach LaVine is a name that's been thrown out. You guys were supposed to have Debo.
Yeah, December 15th. I think we could do some things, but mainly after the trade deadline, 15 to 16. But you said we were supposed to have Debo.
Yeah, like in that year when Westbrook was coming, it came. Like apparently there was a deal.
I heard those rumblings.
Yeah, apparently there was. He said it, I think, in the podcast with like Paul.
He did say it in the podcast.
Yeah, he was like, I thought I was going to the Lakers. Like it was pretty much like a done deal, I thought, and then all of a sudden news comes out that Westbrook is going, and it's like.
Yeah, so you would think we would learn from instances like that, because that happened with Kuzma to the Kings, and we were supposed to get Buddy Hield that first time.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we think we would learn there.
Yeah.
So do you think that was LeBron making a change at the end?
What, at the end? Oh,
right.
Saying like, flip it too.
Yeah, like no, scrap that. Let's get Westbrook.
Yeah, I gotta maybe.
You think so? Okay.
He and AD, they definitely talking about all the moves and stuff. So. I think they felt like, we could probably make it work. Yeah, let's bring Russ in here, and it didn't work. But the West is very interesting. Very interesting. I mean, Denver's hanging around. They don't have Jamal Murray right now, so
they're missing him too.
They miss him, They miss him. They need him back, and I think they'll be back when he's back. I mean, can LeBron do this all season? He's playing all these minutes, man?
Yeah, and that wasn't the plan coming in. The plan was to play him right around 30 minutes,
Yeah,
and that got scrapped after the first game, after the second game, I should
yeah.
say.
Like
Yeah, after the
two.
first game we lost, and
Yeah,
he was like, "Nah, enough of that."
nope.
Yeah, I mean, and we just have to, we just have to see. Right now, both of them are healthy. AD has this little hip thing going on with him right now. That's been bugging him or whatnot.
Yeah.
Can he do this all season? No, not realistically.
Hmm.
He can't. I mean, right? I mean, until last night, he was shooting 40% from three, and I mean, I think we went one for 9 last night though.
Ouch.
But yeah, so uh, that's which that's when we have to get these guys back. These
Well, yeah.
guys that we had for depth back, and
All right.
they've been more hurt than LeBron and AD though.
Well, yeah, and then to that point, like the on-off splits with LeBron, like they get talked about all the time, but it's just unbelievable that he is
Yeah,
that valuable still at 38, almost 39 years old. Like they can't
yeah,
win the
almost
minutes with him
39.
off the floor.
Some guy said like the Lakers when LeBron is off the floor, are like the Washington Generals.
But yeah, I'm trying to figure out like, so who is?
What should be working? What should be working is D'Lo with AD and these pick and rolls. That should be working.
Yeah,
It's not.
it's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
nobody. Does anybody view D'Lo as like a threat off that pick and roll? If he's as a shooter,
Not off the pick. Not off
Yeah.
the pick and roll. No,
Oh.
he's been pretty decent with catch and shoot.
yeah,
Yeah, he's been pretty. But I mean, he's crafty. He's a lefty. It's kind of harder to guard lefties, than rights. But he's been crafty, and I like D'Lo. He just, man, you can't quantify quote unquote crunch time and clutch time,
yeah.
but he just seems to crumble during those moments.
Okay,
I mean, they even benched him last year
they did.
in that playoff series. I mean, that says a lot.
Yeah, that did say a lot. All right, last question. Who do you think?
In season tournament.
Well, oh yeah. Well, last question about the Lakers.
Okay, I'm sorry, I made to throw you off. Go ahead.
No. Last question about the Lakers. So who do you want to target at the trade deadline? Is there any name out there that you're like, okay, this guy, if we can go find a way to get him, that would be good for us.
I mean, the obvious has been Zach LaVine.
They thrown out Zach LaVine.
And that to me, the money don't really work like that, because he has a ton, and then we already have a ton on the books already.
Brown and AD.
I mean, so yeah, so that's what a lot of people have been saying. I wish we could have gotten when he was available. Drew Holiday when he was available.
True.
I wish that could have happened. Yeah, I wish that could have happened. That to me, that would have been the missing piece.
Yeah.
But as far as a point guard, because I think that's in essence what we, if they're not going to play LeBron at point, we need somebody who could make to have us get easier shots for other people.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that's out there right now. I mean, some people have been saying Colin Sexton. I mean, he's more of a scoring guard right now, but I've heard his name like kind of with rumblings out there, but it's really hard to say. Look, I thought Schroeder did okay with us last year. I thought he did pretty good for us last year.
Yeah. Okay.
Some clutch shots. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's throwing out.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine, and I gotta go into the trade machine and see what the money looks like there. But then just towards the future with the CBA, all the changes to it, like for a guy to make Zach's money, like 40 mil a season, you kind of want him to be a consistent all-star.
Yes,
Yeah,
that makes sense. That
yeah,
makes sense. That's reasonable.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
if I'm gonna pay you 40 million, then you got to be somebody who's consistently making the all-star. Should probably be at least third team All NBA kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen that from Zach. Obviously, he's been on some bad teams. Although he was, well,
Mhm.
that one time Minnesota was okay, but he's been on some
Mhm.
bad teams. He did okay at Team USA one year. He was fine. So I don't know if that's the move for the Lakers, but we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Also, I've heard a rumble or two about Trey Young.
Oh, I have not heard that. Okay, Trey
Yeah.
Young.
So that would be interesting.
Mm,
But he is gonna kill you on the other side of the floor. That
yes.
defensive side, you're gonna try to hide him
Yeah.
as much as you can. And I love guys who can spread the floor and shoot the long ball and things of that nature. But if you're trying to hide them on defense, man, that's yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that works. Not for my Lakers.
Yeah, I mean Trey got off to a slow start this season. Wasn't shooting it well. I think he's turned it up recently. I mean, he
Hmm.
and Dejounte are over there in Atlanta. I guess some people go back and forth on which one is who's better. I mean, Dejounte's got the length, right, that Trey doesn't,
Yep.
so he can play defense, but he obviously isn't the scorer that Trey is when he gets going. So we'll see what they do over there in Atlanta. I think with Quinn Snyder, his first full season as the head coach, I feel like they're going to hang on to him and
Yeah.
see what goes on over there. But okay, yeah, everybody always tries to make the splashy moves for the Lakers, and I,
Yeah.
I think I don't think that's going to happen this off season. But I'm sure people will be talking about it. But
Yeah.
all right,
Ultimately,
yeah,
I think we stand pat.
okay, you stand pat.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
last thing, in-season tournament. So it's been going on. It's coming to a conclusion, I believe, on Tuesday for at least the group stage, right before we get to the knockout
Hmm.
rounds. Um, I talked about it a little bit since it got started. What are your thoughts on it so far? Like, do you think it's been good, fun, or you think it's just like annoying, or like nah, I'm not with it?
Lonnie, I like it, man.
I'm
I
with
like it.
you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, I like the basketball courts. I think the
yeah,
courts are cool. Like, especially some look better. I like Orlando's court. Of course, I like the Lakers court. Man, but Houston has the H Town.
yeah.
Don't they
We
have
got
the
the
H?
H
Yeah.
Town.
Man, I like it. I like the fact that um, it's something to add, like a little carrot. Um, Now, $500,000 might not be that much to LeBron or AD,
Right.
but you got those guys that are playing minutes
Mm-hmm.
for you, like the number 6, 7, 8 on the bench.
All right.
You don't think they want that $500,000?
Yeah.
So that right there. Two, um, the point differentials matter.
Yeah.
So now you have something at the end of the game that's different from
Right.
the regular NBA. You could be blowing out a team by 15. I'm still scoring on you. I'm
Yep.
still shooting threes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like because it's different, and I think that's what Adam Silver wanted. I think he wanted just like a different feel. I know he kind of mimicked this off soccer and the World Cup and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the way it's been going, and I even like people's confusion about it because eventually you'll read it.
Yeah.
But eventually you'll read it, I guess, because it's not going anywhere right now. So
Right. Yeah, no, I'm
yeah.
with you. I like it. I like it. I think it's different. It's cool. Like the uniforms and the courts are cool. I didn't expect that, but that's a cool little thing too. But I like that. So with soccer, because I do follow like English Premier League, so they have cups and stuff, but those matches don't count for the regular season in their
Hmm.
league. It's just a totally
Right.
completely separate thing. But I like
Hmm.
that this is tied into the regular season because these
Yep.
games they still matter. Like they affect your win loss total and ultimately playoff seeding kind of stuff, right? So you
Yep.
can't just go into it and be oh we're just gonna send out the B team and like we don't care about this game. No,
Exactly.
you got to play. Like
You got to
your
play.
guys got to play. right? The points matter. Right, I like that it's early in the season too. I think they picked the
Yeah.
perfect time to do it in November because teams are still all within 5 games of each
Mhm.
other at the extreme, but most of them are
Right.
within like two. Right,
And they did it at a point where football is still big.
right,
So they wanted to kind of compete.
yeah, yeah. And so you got teams who are, 5-8, but then the team they're playing is 8-5, and this game could mean bringing you closer together and all that. And then to your point, yeah, winning the money for I think it's for the guys that are further down the roster. That would be
Yeah.
obviously huge for them. I think like LeBron and Dame have said so much in interviews post
Mhm.
game, like yeah, like we want to win it for our guys on the bench. So I think it's fun at this point. We got a few teams locked in for the knockout, including your Lakers. Went 4-0,
Oh yeah, 4-0.
4-0
4-0.
in the group.
Yeah.
So you guys are in. I think the only lock so far in the West, and then the only lock in the East are the Pacers, who went 4
Pacers
0.
4-0.
So they're
Yeah.
they're in. We got a couple other.
Milwaukee's 3-0.
Milwaukee is 3-0. So if they
Mm-hmm.
win their Tuesday game, they're in.
They're locked.
So we got a little bit of a race for
Mm-hmm.
divisions or groups, and then the wild card spot. My
Now,
Rockets
to
are.
your point,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
oh, yeah, go ahead. To your point, like I even like everybody that's not in,
Mm-hmm.
they play each other.
Right.
So everybody that misses, they play each other a home game and an away game.
Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
again, that's still, and even if you lose in the tournament, those games that you lose again count toward the regular season. So the only extra game is going to be the championship game.
Right. Yep.
Now I do wish that they would count that toward the stats and stuff like that toward the regular season because they did earn it,
Okay.
and it would be just kind of like a novelty to have. Okay, there were two games, two teams that actually played 83 games in the season.
Mm.
I think that would just be kind of cool for the novelty part of it and history, you know,
I see.
as well. But I like the way they set that up too. But your
Okay.
your Rockets are doing pretty good, 2-1 so far in the tournament.
2-1 in the tournament, including we beat Denver and New
Yeah.
Orleans, who's currently sitting number one in our group. We got to play
You
Dallas.
eliminated you eliminated Denver.
We did. We did. We eliminated
Yep.
Denver,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
so Dallas is eliminated, but they can eliminate us by beating us on Tuesday. So I
All right,
think
play
it's
spoiler.
yeah. So I think it's if we win, we're in. I think that's where we're at. Like I think because we beat New
It's
Orleans,
only one. That's only one wild card, right?
so we would win. Yeah, it's only one wild card, but if we win,
Yeah.
we win the
Mhm.
group because
Okay.
we're 2-1. New Orleans is 3-1, but we beat them head to head, so we have the
Okay.
tiebreaker.
All right.
So if we beat Dallas, then we would win our group and we would be in. Yeah, I never put the take on. I should have put it um, on the pod, but I was telling Pradeep because we worked together. I was like, we win in
Okay.
the in-season tournament, right? Like I was like,
Okay.
I was saying that to him privately. I should have put it on the pod, but because I was
Well,
like,
you
this is
saying it
actually a
now.
really good opportunity for like a team just like us, right? Like go win something. Like use
Yeah.
that as like a something to go after. Like put the league on notice a little bit. Be like, hey, this is something we can go compete. Like let's go win our group, and then let's go be the first ones to win it. Get these young guys excited about going out and winning something. So,
I think Zach Lowe says he predicted Minnesota would win it.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
Minnesota, they're still in it. I think,
Yeah. Right there, kinda. Yeah. Two and
kinda
one.
two and
Yeah.
one, but yeah. I'm excited
Yeah.
about it. I think it's gonna be fun. And yeah, I don't know about the 83rd game counting. So you saying just the stats, or do you want to count the win too and the loss?
No. Just the stats.
Okay, okay,
Just the stats.
just the
Yeah.
stats.
Just the
Okay,
stats. Yeah.
okay, yeah. Then I think I'm fine with that. All right. Yeah, I couldn't count the win loss because then that affects the playoffs and all that. So,
Right.
all right.
So yeah, and then they're going to give the awards as well.
Mm-hmm.
In season tournament MVP.
Right.
So you think about people and their legacy
Yeah.
and how that is going to affect their legacy.
You, you
Um,
think it's gonna become something like that we talk about in legacy? Like, oh well, he's got 3 rings, he's got 3 rings, but he won the in-season tournament MVP 2 times, or
Silver is about just changing stuff, man. I think it can. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it can. I
Okay.
think it can. So first season in season tournament MVP. He's going to have all season tournament. I think first and second team or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he really thought it through.
He did. I like this edition. I like this edition. It's fun. Yeah. And yeah, it catches your attention with the courts immediately. Like you're like, okay, and they've done a good job making
The
sure you can
jerseys.
understand the difference. Like, okay, this isn't like a normal game. Like something's different about tonight for the
Yeah,
casual fan.
Steph said it felt like a playoff game the other day. That game against San Antonio.
That's right. He did say that. I heard him say that at the game. Yeah. So this is gonna be fun. I'm excited about it. But all right, sweet man. It's been awesome. It's been
Yeah,
great.
agreed.
Yeah, we
I've
gotta
enjoyed it.
we gotta do it again. We'll
Yeah,
check back in. Keep an eye on your Lakers. See what they're doing. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, man. We'll bring you back on for sure. Like this has been awesome.
nice. Yeah, agreed.
All
Thanks for
right.
having me on.
Yeah. All right. That wraps up this episode. Be sure like, subscribe, all the good things. All right. Tell a friend. Let them know that podcast is out and we're doing things, man. So excited about it. Shout out to Raymone for coming on. We'll have him back for sure. And we'll see y'all next time.
All right,
Peace.
peace.